Chester Bennington had it all: fame as Linkin Park's lead singer, money, and millions of fans who loved him. But in 2017, he lost his fight with depression and took his own life. Elvis Presley was literally called the king. He had more wealth and fame than almost anyone in history, yet he spiraled into drug addiction and died alone, surrounded by all his riches, but none of the peace he was searching for. Robin Williams, one of the most beloved entertainers ever, successful beyond measure. Still, he battled inner demons that all his fortunes couldn't cure, leading to his tragic early death. But here's the question that should make us all stop and think. If wealth and fame bring happiness, why did these incredibly successful people live in such pain? With everything our society tells us to chase right at their fingertips, why would they choose to end it all? What if everything you've been taught about wealth is incomplete? What if the real secret to becoming truly rich has been sitting in an ancient text for thousands of years? We chase after money like it's the answer to everything. But look around. How many successful people still feel empty inside despite having millions? How many wealthy folks keep working crazy hours even though they already have more than enough? The Bhagavad Gita seems like a strange place to find money advice, but hidden in its teachings is a completely different way of thinking about wealth that makes our modern ideas look shallow by comparison. This isn't just about having a big bank account. The Gita shows us that real wealth, along with money, includes finding your purpose, feeling fulfilled, and having inner peace. The kind of wealth that doesn't disappear when the stock market crashes. Today we'll uncover the Gita's formula for unlimited wealth. You'll see why letting go, not holding on tight, actually brings more abundance your way. You'll discover how following your true purpose connects directly to your prosperity. And you'll realize that sometimes the richest person isn't the one with the fancy car, but the one with the richest mind. What makes this so eye-opening is that it goes against almost everything we're taught about getting ahead. While modern society pushes competition and always wanting more, the Gita offers a completely different path based on contribution and changing yourself from within. So stay tuned, because this one little video could actually change your entire life, as it brings you the true meaning of actual wealth and how to achieve it. What exactly is wealth? If I asked you to picture a wealthy person, what comes to mind? Maybe someone with expensive cars, a big house, designer clothes. That's what most of us have been taught to think, but the Bhagavad Gita shows us a completely different picture of what it means to be truly rich. In chapter 16, verses 1-3. Here, Lord Krishna doesn't talk about gold or property when describing prosperity. Instead, he lists qualities like fearlessness, purity of heart, knowledge, charity, self-control, and compassion. He's telling us something revolutionary, that these inner qualities are the real treasures worth pursuing. Think about the wealthiest people you know. Are they always the happiest, the most fulfilled, the most at peace? Most often, they're not. That's because our modern world has sold us a limited definition of success, one focused almost entirely on what we can count, measure, and show off. It's like an endless cycle of hell to pursue peace. However, the ancient Indian scripture offers us a more complete picture through the four Purusharthas, the four aims of human life. There's Dharma, living according to your purpose; Artha, wealth and prosperity; Kama, enjoyment; and moksha, freedom. Notice something important. Wealth is there, but it sits between purpose and enjoyment. It's not the end goal, it's a stepping stone. This is where so many of us get lost. We chase after wealth while disconnecting it from purpose. The Gita warns us that wealth without Dharma becomes empty and ultimately destructive. Look at the story of Howard Hughes. At one point, he was one of the richest men in America. He had everything money could buy, but he spent his final years alone, trapped by his fears and obsessions, his fingernails grown long, refusing to touch anything because of his extreme germophobia. By the Gita's true definition, despite all his money, he wasn't wealthy at all. Compare that to someone who might have a modest income but lives with purpose, inner peace, and meaningful relationships. The Gita would say this person possesses real wealth, the kind that can't be taxed, stolen, or diminished by inflation. Krishna isn't saying money is bad. He's suggesting that true prosperity includes but extends far beyond the material. The principle of karma yoga and creation of wealth. Now we come to one of the Gita's most powerful secrets for creating wealth, something called karma yoga. In chapter 2 verse 47, Krishna tells Arjuna, which means you have the right to work only, but never to its fruits. Let not the fruits of action be your motive, nor let your attachment be to inaction. Work without caring about results. How does that create wealth? This is where the Gita's wisdom gets fascinating. When we're obsessed with outcomes, the promotion, the profit margin, the likes on social media, we actually become less effective. Our attachment creates anxiety, clouds judgment, and makes us hesitate when we should act boldly. Think about how you perform when you're desperate to succeed versus when you're fully absorbed in the work itself. When an athlete is thinking about winning rather than executing their technique, they choke. When a musician obsesses over the audience's reaction rather than the music, they play stiffly. In chapter 6 verse 1, Krishna explains further. One who performs their duty without attachment, surrendering the results to the Supreme, is unaffected by sinful action, as the lotus leaf is untouched by water. This isn't saying don't care about your work, but quite the opposite. It's saying care so deeply about the quality of your work that the outcome becomes secondary. Paradoxically, this detachment leads to greater success. The Gita also teaches us to follow our Dharma, our natural abilities and purpose. In chapter 3 verse 35, Krishna says, better is one's own duty through imperfectly performed than the duty of another well performed. Better is death in one's own duty. The duty of another is fraught with fear. Look at successful entrepreneurs who built wealth by following their unique gifts. Steve Jobs didn't chase money. He pursued his passion for design and technology. Warren Buffett followed his natural talent for understanding business. Oprah Winfrey stayed true to her gift for authentic communication. Many people misunderstand this teaching. They think detachment means lack of ambition or settling for mediocrity. Nothing could be further from the truth. The Gita actually calls us to excellence, but excellence driven by love of the work itself rather than desperate craving for results. When you approach wealth creation this way, work becomes a spiritual practice. Every task, no matter how ordinary, becomes an opportunity to pour your whole self into something meaningful that serves the world. And ironically, this is when the greatest material success often follows. Breaking through what holds you back. If the path to true wealth is so clearly laid out in the Gita, why aren't more of us experiencing abundance? Krishna identifies several internal obstacles that block our prosperity, barriers we build within ourselves. The first is the confusion between greed and healthy ambition. Many spiritual seekers mistakenly believe that any desire for prosperity must be greed, but the Gita makes a crucial distinction. Greed is wanting more for the sake of having more. Healthy ambition is the desire to create value and serve with your gifts. In chapter 4, verse 22, Krishna explains, content with whatever comes by chance, beyond dualities, free from envy, equal in success and failure. Even when acting, such a person is not bound. Did you notice he doesn't say don't strive or don't achieve? He says remain content while in the process. This inner fulfillment actually opens the door to greater abundance. Another major obstacle is fear and the scarcity mindset, the belief that everything is limited and you need to fight for your share before others take it all. This creates desperate energy that repels the very prosperity you seek. In chapter 9, verse 22, Krishna offers a powerful alternative. For those who worship me alone, thinking of no other, for those ever devoted ones, I secure what they lack and preserve what they have. Whether you see this as literal divine intervention or the natural flow of abundance to those focused on contribution rather than lack, the principle works the same. When you focus on serving a higher purpose, opportunities and resources naturally flow toward you. Many of us also become rigidly attached to exactly how our prosperity should come. We decide it must be through a particular job, investment, or business plan. The Gita teaches commitment to the process while staying open to how good things might come to you. How do we overcome these obstacles? The Gita offers practical teachings, regular meditation to calm the anxious mind. disciplined action without attachment, and adaptation of sattvic qualities like clarity and contentment. Modern psychology confirms these insights. Research on flow state shows we perform best when absorbed in the activity rather than fixated on outcomes. Studies on scarcity mindset reveal how it impairs decision-making and causes you to create the very shortage you fear. The most successful people today practice these principles, whether they've read the Gita or not. They focus on creating value, remain adaptable about how success comes, and maintain inner peace throughout their work journey. How the 3 gunas shape your wealth. The 3 gunas. Gita tells us these are 3 basic qualities that shape everything in life, including how we create and use wealth. Think of these gunas like 3 different approaches to money and success, each that leads to very different outcomes. First is tamas, the lowest energy. Tamasic wealth is created through lying, cheating, or hurting others, a business that makes money by tricking customers or exploiting workers. The Gita warns this kind of wealth brings endless problems and never leads to real happiness. Next is rajas, the energy of passion and action. Rajasic wealth comes from hard work and ambition, but it's driven by ego and competition. This person works day and night to be better than everyone else. They might get rich, but they're never satisfied and can't enjoy what they have. Finally, there's sattva, the highest quality. Sattvic wealth flows from work that helps others and brings real value to the world. It's created with honesty and excellence. The person isn't trying to be the best, they're trying to give their best. In chapter 17, verses 20 to 22, Krishna describes the 3 types of giving that match these qualities. These verses tell us that sattvic giving is done simply because it's right. Rajasic giving expects something in return, and tamasic giving is done with disrespect or poor intention. Look at today's business world. Companies that exploit workers or damage the environment might make money for a while, but they're creating tamasic wealth. Businesses driven purely by profit and competition create rajasic wealth. There's success, but also stress and burnout. But companies focused on solving real problems and adding value, they create sattvic wealth, prosperity that benefits everyone and brings fulfillment, not just money. The Gita's teaching is clear. If you want wealth that actually makes you happy, shift towards the sattvic approach. Do work you believe in, create things of real value, use your unique gifts to serve others. This change takes time. Each day, you make small decisions that slowly transform how you think about money and work. Like turning a large ship, it happens degree by degree until you're moving in an entirely new direction. So how do we actually use these ancient teachings in our modern lives? The Gita gives us clear steps we can take to create true wealth while staying aligned with deeper values. First, find your Dharma, your unique purpose. This isn't just about picking a random career. It's about honestly looking at your natural talents and the work that makes you feel alive. When Krishna says in chapter 18, verse 46, "By worship through one's own work, a person achieves success," he's telling us that success comes when we do the work that matches who we truly are. Second, reshape how you think about the work itself. The Gita teaches us to offer our work as service, not just as a way to get money. This simple change in thinking transforms our entire work life. Think about your work as a means to help serve others instead of just a means to pay your bills. This doesn't mean you should work for free. It means bringing a spirit of giving to whatever you do, which actually helps you enjoy your work in the truest way and brings you inner peace. Third, master the balance of effort and surrender. The Gita doesn't tell us to just meditate on wealth while doing nothing. It calls for disciplined action without desperate attachment to results. But simply work hard, then let go. Do your absolute best, then accept whatever comes with calmness. Fourth, develop self-knowledge through regular quiet time. The Gita emphasizes that knowing your true self is essential for any lasting success. Even 10 minutes of daily meditation or reflection can help you stay centered and make wiser choices about money and work. Finally, learn to be happy with what you have while still working toward your goals. This might sound like a contradiction, but actually it's the secret to sustainable success. Be grateful for what you have now while working toward worthy goals. This way of thinking stops you from burning out by always running after more and more. These practices aren't complicated, but they go against many modern habits. Each day we have countless opportunities to apply these teachings in small ways. The business meeting, the family dinner, the financial decision, all become chances to practice this wisdom. Unlimited wealth beyond the material. The greatest secret about wealth in the Bhagavad Gita goes even deeper than what we've discussed so far. Lord Krishna reveals that true abundance of wealth goes far beyond money and possessions. In chapter 10, verses 4-5, Krishna explains, intelligence, knowledge, freedom from doubt and delusion, forgiveness, truthfulness, self-control, happiness and misery, fear and fearlessness, non-violence, equanimity, contentment, all these different states of living beings arise from me alone. Krishna is pointing to something powerful, that qualities like wisdom, forgiveness, and peace come from connecting to something larger than ourselves. These inner qualities create a wealth that can never be taken away. Here's what makes this teaching so powerful. When you develop these inner riches, material prosperity often follows naturally. It's like a side effect. People who radiate wisdom, creativity, and genuine care for others tend to create value wherever they go. Opportunities flow to them. Think of yourself as a pipe that wealth flows through, not just a bucket that collects it. When wealth flows through you rather than just to you, it multiplies. The more you allow prosperity to flow outward in service and contribution, the more it tends to flow inward as well. This is the exact opposite of our culture's message of accumulation and hoarding. The Gita teaches that the tightest fist receives the least, while the open hand both gives and receives the most. This kind of prosperity brings lasting fulfillment, not just temporary pleasure. It creates a wealth that serves your whole life, not just your bank account. So, what will you choose? The path of chasing money that never satisfies, or the path of true abundance that the Gita reveals? The choice is yours, but as Lord Krishna teaches, your actions today shape the life you'll live tomorrow. Let us know in the comment section which of these teachings you plan to implement in your life from today. And if this video truly helped you think differently about wealth, please hit the like button and subscribe for more teachings from the Bhagavad Gita. What's one way you could apply the principle of detachment in your work this week? Which of the 3 gunas, qualities, do you think most influences your approach to money? What's the biggest inner wealth you're grateful for that money can't buy? Has there been a time when focusing on service brought unexpected prosperity into your life?